Have you ever wondered how some people manage to escape seemingly impossible situations? Whether it's fleeing a maximum security prison, surviving a deadly ambush, or escaping from the clutches of tyranny, these stories defy logic and leave us asking, how did they pull that off? In today's video, we'll uncover 8 of the most unbelievable escapes in history. These aren't just daring tales of ingenuity and bravery. They're also testaments to the power of human determination, luck, and sometimes sheer madness. By the end, you'll be left questioning what's truly possible when the stakes are life or death. Escaping war and oppression, the Great Escape from Stalag Luft III. In March 1944, during the height of World War II, 76 Allied prisoners of war managed to escape from the supposedly escape-proof German camp, Stalag Luft III. How did they do it? With ingenuity that seems straight out of a Hollywood movie, and in fact, it inspired one. The prisoners spent over a year digging 3 tunnels, nicknamed Tom, Dick, and Harry, reinforced with scavenged wood and ventilated using homemade bellows. They even forged documents, tailored civilian clothes, and distributed dirt from the tunnels around the camp to avoid suspicion. The sheer complexity of the operation is staggering. The tunnels were over 300 feet long, and the prisoners had to smuggle tools and materials under the noses of their captors. Even food rationing became part of the strategy, as prisoners worked in shifts to avoid raising suspicions. Every detail was accounted for, from the disposal of dirt to the soundproofing of their excavation efforts. Although only 3 prisoners successfully made it to freedom, the escape was a major embarrassment for the Nazis and showcased the power of collective ingenuity. It's a story of sheer willpower and the lengths people will go to for freedom. Beyond its immediate impact, the escape inspired countless other prisoners of war and became a powerful symbol of defiance against tyranny. It also highlighted the incredible teamwork and innovation that emerged even in the direst of circumstances. The sheer audacity of the plan continues to captivate historians and filmmakers alike, offering lessons in resilience, unity, and creativity. The Sobibor Death Camp escape. One of the most extraordinary escapes during World War II occurred at the Sobibor extermination camp in Nazi-occupied Poland. In October 1943, led by Soviet prisoner Alexander Peshersky, a group of prisoners orchestrated a revolt. The plan? Kill SS guards, steal their weapons, and storm the gates. It required meticulous planning and extreme courage, as failure meant certain death. Prisoners covertly communicated their plans, creating makeshift weapons from whatever materials they could find. The element of surprise was their greatest ally, as was their ability to maintain secrecy despite constant surveillance and fear of informants. Despite unimaginable odds, around 300 prisoners managed to escape into the surrounding forests. Tragically, only about 50 survived the war, but the escape disrupted the camp's operations and was a symbolic act of defiance against unspeakable tyranny. Sobibor was shut down shortly after, erasing its place in the Nazi machinery of genocide. This escape is a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, even in the darkest of circumstances. It forced the Nazis to shut down Sobibor, marking a small yet significant victory in the broader context of unimaginable horror. The bravery shown by these prisoners continues to inspire resistance to oppression worldwide. Their actions serve as a testament to the human desire for freedom, even in the face of almost certain death. For the survivors, the memories of their fallen comrades became a lifelong reminder of what it means to fight for liberty. Frederick Douglass's escape from slavery. Frederick Douglass, one of the most prominent abolitionists of the 19th century, orchestrated his own escape from slavery in 1838. Disguised as a sailor and armed with forged identification, Douglass boarded a train in Maryland and traveled to freedom in the North. What made this escape extraordinary wasn't just the act itself, but the risks involved. If discovered, Douglass faced brutal punishment or even death. The disguise, a sailor's uniform, was chosen carefully, as sailors were less likely to be questioned. Douglass's calm demeanor and quick thinking helped him evade suspicion during the journey. Douglass's preparation was meticulous. He had learned to read and write in secret as a child, arming himself with skills that would later prove vital. His ability to forge identification papers and memorize routes highlighted his resourcefulness. He also relied on allies in the abolitionist movement, who provided critical information and support. His daring escape wasn't just a personal victory. It marked the beginning of his fight to free others. Douglass went on to become a leading voice in the abolitionist movement, proving that some escapes don't just change one life. They change the course of history. His writings and speeches inspired generations, cementing his legacy as a symbol of freedom and resilience. Douglass's story also sheds light on the systemic challenges of his time, illustrating the lengths enslaved individuals had to go to secure their freedom. It reminds us of the enduring importance of courage and the transformative power of education and advocacy. His journey demonstrates how an individual's determination can influence the trajectory of entire social movements. Douglass not only escaped slavery, but helped dismantle the institution itself, showing that some escapes resonate far beyond the personal. Dieter Dengler's jungle escape. In 1966, German-American pilot Dieter Dengler was shot down during the Vietnam War and captured by the Pathet Lao. Held in a jungle prison camp under horrific conditions, escape seemed impossible, but Dengler was no ordinary prisoner. Using his survival training, he and 6 fellow prisoners overpowered their guards and fled into the dense jungle. The escape itself was chaotic, with Dengler narrowly avoiding recapture multiple times. The prisoners had planned their revolt for weeks, carefully timing their attack to catch their captors off guard. The jungle was as much an enemy as the captors, filled with venomous snakes, torrential rain, and almost no food. Dengler's ability to adapt and endure became a testament to human resilience. He fashioned tools from debris, scavenged edible plants, and avoided predators as he navigated the treacherous terrain. For 23 days, Dengler relied on his ingenuity, discipline, and sheer determination. His ability to remain focused and resourceful in the face of despair offers a lesson in the power of hope and mental resilience. His harrowing ordeal is a testament to the power of endurance and ingenuity. His story later inspired the movie Rescue Dawn and remains one of the most remarkable tales of survival and escape. The experience not only tested his physical limits, but also underscored the importance of mental resilience in overcoming adversity. Dengler's story highlights how, even in the most hopeless situations, the human spirit can prevail. His escape serves as a reminder of the extraordinary feats individuals can achieve when faced with insurmountable odds. Ingenious prison breaks. Henri Charrière's Papillon escape. Henri Charrière, nicknamed Papillon for his butterfly tattoo, was a Frenchman wrongfully convicted of murder in the 1930s. Sentenced to life in the brutal penal colony of French Guiana, escape seemed impossible. But Papillon's determination proved otherwise. He made multiple escape attempts, including one where he floated on a makeshift raft of coconut shells. Each failure brought brutal punishment, yet his resolve never wavered. Although recaptured several times, his persistence paid off in 1941 when he escaped for good. Fleeing across the sea on another improvised raft, he eventually reached Venezuela, where he found refuge and freedom. Papillon's story, later immortalized in his memoir and adapted into films, is a testament to the human spirit, a refusal to be crushed by injustice or seemingly insurmountable odds. It also sheds light on the inhumane conditions of penal colonies, sparking discussions about justice and human rights. Beyond his personal victory, Papillon's escape underscores the idea that perseverance can outlast even the harshest of circumstances. His determination continues to resonate with audiences today, serving as a reminder of the strength of the human will. The Alcatraz Escape of 1962. Alcatraz, the infamous island prison, was designed to be inescapable. Surrounded by icy waters and fierce currents, it housed some of America's most dangerous criminals. But in 1962, 3 inmates, Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin, did what no one thought possible. Over months, they used sharpened spoons to dig through their cell walls, crafting makeshift tools and dummy heads from soap and paper to fool guards. On the night of June 11th, they crawled through the tunnels, climbed the prison's walls, and set off on a raft made of raincoats. The escape highlighted the ingenuity and patience required to overcome insurmountable odds. Despite an extensive manhunt, their bodies were never found. To this day, no one knows if they survived, but their daring plan remains one of the most famous prison escapes in history. Beyond the mystery, the escape exposed flaws in the prison's security and inspired generations of filmmakers and writers. It's a story that blurs the line between crime and sheer ingenuity. The daring nature of their escape continues to capture the public's imagination, raising questions about the limits of human creativity. El Chapo's tunnel escape. When Mexican drug lord Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán escaped from a maximum security prison in 2015, it seemed like something out of a heist film. But this wasn't Hollywood. It was real life. His cartel dug a mile-long tunnel under the prison, complete with ventilation, lighting, and a motorcycle mounted on rails. The engineering precision was staggering, showcasing the resources and influence El Chapo commanded. On July 11, 2015, El Chapo slipped through a hole in his shower floor and vanished into the tunnel, emerging miles away. The escape embarrassed Mexican authorities and showcased the cartel's vast resources and ingenuity. Though El Chapo was recaptured in 2016, his daring breakout remains one of the most jaw-dropping escapes in modern history. It also serves as a chilling reminder of the power wielded by organized crime networks. The meticulous planning involved highlights the lengths people will go to when stakes are high. It raises important questions about the balance between resources, power, and accountability in the fight against corruption. The Maze Prison Escape. In 1983, 38 members of the Provisional Irish Republican Army, IRA, escaped from the Maze Prison in Northern Ireland, one of the most secure facilities in Europe at the time. The prisoners smuggled weapons into the facility, overpowering guards and hijacking a food truck to break through the gates. The operation was meticulously planned, involving months of coordination and risk. Although some were recaptured, it remains the largest prison break in British history. This escape was more than just a breakout. It was a bold political statement during one of the most turbulent periods of the Troubles, demonstrating the lengths to which people will go for their cause. It also highlights the complex interplay of political ideologies and individual actions, showing how chaos can become a calculated tool in the pursuit of freedom or influence. The Maze escape remains a symbol of defiance and strategy, resonating deeply in the political landscape of Northern Ireland. From daring prison breaks to life or death flights from tyranny, these 8 stories remind us of the power of human ingenuity, determination, and courage. Whether it was through meticulous planning, sheer luck, or unrelenting willpower, these escapes defied all odds and became legendary. Which of these escapes amazed you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey through history's most unbelievable escapes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, stay curious.